lot of people are blank. They don't know what to do. If I was given the opportunity to go back, I'd definitely start content creation earlier. I'd definitely improve my writing skills. I would not give any chance for anything. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Adeline Opera over here. I've recently been reflecting on my own university experience, especially with graduation season, and my sister is also about to graduate from the university. Period. Because of that, I was just thinking about things I'd do differently if I was just graduating from the university. That's to say, if I was in my sister's shoes. If you're about to graduate, or you just graduated, or maybe you're about to enter your final year of university, this video is certainly for you. Okay, so let's dive into it. Okay, so here are 10 things I'd do differently if I just graduated from the university. The one thing I wish I'd done was maybe practicalize what I had learned while I was in school. I wish I really took out time to dabble into internship, part-time jobs, and even volunteer works. For example, let's say you're an international relations student. Just looking for volunteer work or maybe working in an NGO can actually help you practice what you did back in the university. Now, I'm not saying it has to be something you studied in university, but just something that can actually help you scale the labor market. Apart from internships and volunteer work, another thing that you can actually do is part-time jobs. Back in university, I never knew you could actually do a part-time. In short, I actually thought that there was nothing like part-time job in Nigeria. Not until I started working and I actually saw somebody. She said it's actually a student and that she's doing this for the meantime so that she could just gather a little bit of funds while she's in school to just support herself while her family is also supporting her. So I never actually knew that that was a thing, and actually talking to this girl, I found out that this is what she has been doing right from her second year of university. She says she does this often. So I do know that there are certain places that actually do shift work, like supermarkets. Don't say, oh, me graduate this, I can't do that. That's what you can do for the meantime before something good comes up. Okay, so working in a supermarket, they usually do shift work. You can actually find out about other places. I think even filling stations. These are the places that you can seek out part-time jobs. There might be part-time jobs in major companies, but those ones might take time. We're looking for something that will just support us immediately after we are done with school, like it's little money. So another big one is that I definitely learned more about financial literacy. I'd really advise you to start educating yourself on personal finance. I'd like to recommend one book here, and that is The Richest Man in Babylon. Like, if you're a beginner, that is, you know nothing about personal finance, you can start with The Richest Man in Babylon. Like, it's the most basic book about personal finance, and it's very, very easy to digest. When I read that book, all the other books that I read actually started to make more sense. But that book taught me how you can pay your debt easily, and how to save better, and even how to look for opportunities to like invest in business or to invest in yourself. Another thing you can do so that you can learn personal finance faster, go on Instagram and search about these things. Consume content about personal finance. Let's say you go on YouTube, you search about personal finance. Let's say you go on TikTok, you search about personal finance. What starts to happen is that the algorithm starts to push any content about personal finance to you. With that, you keep on consuming those contents, and then you start learning. You're not going to be a pro immediately, but at least know the basic. Okay, another thing I do differently is I'd explore more passions and interests. Okay, coming out from the four walls of a university does not restrict you to just learning about your major or just sticking to a 9-to-5 job. You can dabble in other things. You could dabble in sports. You could even try social media. You ask any of my classmates, I wasn't part of the people that you had say, oh, she's definitely going to go into social media, or oh, she's definitely going to pick up the camera and record herself, actually become a YouTuber. Like, I wasn't that person at all. I didn't even like to take pictures when I was in school. I actually started learning makeup late, and I learned makeup because I didn't want to just go out of school with no skill in hand and just only doing what I learned in school and just sticking to a 9-to-5 job. So back then I wish I had dabbled more into it and maybe invested more and explored more passion. I know there are a lot of us out there that actually think that my coursework is it. Your BSc certificate is not the only thing you have. You have a lot of potential in you. There's actually a lot you can do with them. So actually think about things that you've been passionate about in the past, or maybe things you've been interested in the past. Trust me, they're still there. Okay, you just have to think about how to develop them into something that you can actually monetize. Doing content creation, like the content creation market or the influencing market, is actually big right now. So if you're in school, it's actually something you can think about doing. Start building a portfolio or something, like just actually get the experience of making videos if that is something you're interested in, or look for things that you're interested in and then learn more about them, develop them. You love to write, then look for ways that you can improve on your writing skills. If I was given the opportunity to go back, I'd definitely start content creation earlier. I'd definitely improve my writing skills. I would not give any chance from university. I'd definitely seek out a mentor. Let's say I just finished and I studied international relations. I'd definitely look for someone who is actually in my field of study, who is actually doing what I plan to do, or who is where I want to be 10 years from now. You don't even have to reach out to the person personally. A lot of people put their business out there on social media. Just going to their page, learning what they did to get to where they are is actually a good plan. Okay, just have someone that you can look up to, someone that you can get advice from, someone that you can actually pattern your life after, not necessarily copying them, but actually getting information, inspiration, motivation. It will help you. Having someone that has already done what you plan to do 5-10 years from now can be incredibly valuable. They can share their experiences. They can just make things easier for you. So another thing I'd do differently, I would set clear goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART goals. Back in school, I just went with the crowd and I was like, oh, after school I'll go for my NYC, I'll go and do my masters in China, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and then I'll get a job and blah 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 blah. Yeah, where did that get me? Where? I'm not saying I'm doing bad. I'm not doing bad, definitely, but the goals that I set, they were not really smart goals. They did not get me to where I actually wanted to be, which is a master's in China. I just let life happen to me, which I honestly don't want that to happen to you. Okay, so let's say you set a goal. What are you going to do? What steps are you going to take? I feel like what I should have done differently when I said, okay, I was going to go to China for my master's. And don't get me wrong, I did not just want to go to China just for going sake. I actually had a plan. I had a reason why I specifically wanted to go to China. What I should have done then, what does going to China to do masters entail? I did not do any of that. I didn't do any of that. I just said it and I kept on saying it, but I never actually did anything to move me close to my goal. I never sought for, okay, how do I get a visa? Which university am I going to go to? Never did any of this. When I graduated, I already knew that, okay, this is what I wanted to do while I was even in my final year, I think third year. But I never took active steps. I never said, okay, by this year I should have gone to China for my master's. Even immediately after this thing, I should have even done that. Maybe COVID would not have messed me up. I didn't have direction. Why? Because I didn't set smart goals. I didn't even have any plan whatsoever. I didn't make any step at all to achieve that particular goal. I just said it. Just saying it will not get you there. You actually have to make plans. You actually have to take steps so that you can get to where you've envisioned for yourself. Okay, I definitely focus on building a personal brand. This includes creating a professional online presence on platforms such as LinkedIn and just showcasing my skills and maybe projects that I've done in the past, or things that I've done in the past, or jobs that I've done in the past, and also networking online. Now, a strong online presence or a strong personal brand can make you stand out to potential employers and also collaborators. That is, people that maybe want to collaborate on maybe a job or a project. In other words, just have a social media account and curate yourself the way you want people to perceive you. Okay, just maybe take pictures of yourself, put yourself out there. If there's a skill set that you have, then showcase it. You can do that on Instagram, or you can do that on LinkedIn, or you can do that on Twitter, X, or TikTok, whatever it might be. Just make sure you put yourself out there. I would embrace continuous learning. I had to learn it, let's say the hard way, that learning doesn't stop. Papa used to tell us that you never stop learning. I just used to hear it and hear it and hear it and be like, oh, okay. As far as I'm concerned, I'm about to graduate. I'm not going to pick up another book in my entire life. Like, that's what I used to think. I didn't really understand what Papa used to say. So when I left school, I thought, okay, I'm not going to pick up a book. I'm never going to read again. Forgetting that, okay, I might actually have to get a master's. All right, that was one. And when you're doing your master's, you're definitely going to read. When it comes to your project work, you're definitely going to review a lot of articles so that you can publish a good article. Learning never stops. And even after your master's, in order for you to develop yourself, you definitely have to educate yourself on different things, like on certain skill sets. You have to actually put it in your mind that, oh, I'm leaving school, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop learning. That doesn't mean that I'll never pick another book in my life. A good way that you can have continuous learning is you can actually plan to read self-help books, go for your masters, read articles online. Like, these are various ways in which you can just continue to update yourself on the latest trends, on the latest things that are happening, whether in your field or in another field. Or even the best makeup artist has something that she's supposed to learn. She's supposed to keep up with trends. She's supposed to go online to see, oh, the latest way that they do eyebrows, the latest way that they wear lashes. Things keep updating in life, so you have to always learn. Have it in mind that I'm going to leave school, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to pick up a book in my entire life. It just means that I have to read harder and definitely build a side hustle. And it doesn't have to be so gigantic. Like I said, a side hustle could be selling clothes online, makeup, could be practically anything that you want to do. Just make sure that it's something you're building so that you can get an additional income stream, something that you have passion for. So a very good side hustle, content creation, making videos, or it doesn't even have to be about videos. Let's say you're good with writing, you could just write. Like, there are some people that they just write stuff online about maybe what they learned or what they know in their industry, like finance. I know they can be like 3 ways to not go broke before the month ends, something like that. Like something that you know. Let's say, okay, you just finished school and you know that, okay, this was how I was able to achieve a 5.0 GPA. You can write about that. That could be a source of income. I know people that talk about how they were able to make good grades in school, and that is their source of income on YouTube. Like, them talking about that is actually bringing funds for them while they are students. Okay, you're sitting on a wealth of knowledge. Let's say if I studied computer science and I know that I was badass in computer science, content creation is actually an avenue in which I can talk about how I did well while I was studying computer science. As an international relations student, I know one of my classmates, I think that's what she dabbles into. She does more volunteer work, like my master's classmates. That's what I'm talking about. So like now I see her, like she goes to conferences, she does United Nations and all those stuff. Like, that's what she does, and she can actually take people on a journey on how she was able to achieve this, because I feel like a lot of international relations students actually want to do international relations, but because there's actually nobody talking about, oh, how to do this or how to take these certain steps and this is where you get to, a lot of people are blank. They don't know what to do. take for example what I'm doing right now. I'm actually taking people on a journey from my own experience of how life was like while I was in school, so that those coming out 5 years after me would not make the same mistakes that I did. So like teaching people from your own mistakes is actually a good way to make money. This affiliate marketing that they talk about, but let it not be online. Let's say I'm a beauty enthusiast, skincare enthusiast, or I'm a fitness enthusiast. There are definitely products that you've used that you know somebody somewhere in the market is selling, and you know that okay, these products are actually good. You can actually make a deal with the person and say, okay, give me this X amount of product and I'll sell it for you, and you give me this percentage, or I will sell it and put my own money, and you get that kind of a thing. Embrace failure and learn from mistakes. I tell myself failure is a part of growth. Without it, I don't think you can actually achieve anything in life. Like if you don't know that, oh, if you do this, it's going to make you not to get to where you're going to do, how are you going to like learn from that? Failure is actually an opportunity to learn and improve. If you can have this mindset shift, it's going to make a huge difference in your life. So no matter what you venture in, no matter what you dabble into, if you fail from it, don't look at it like, oh, I'm a failure, I'm not going to be anything of importance in life, I'm not going to do anything important in life, nothing good is going to come out from me because I'm always failing and failing and failing. No, that is not a good way to look at it. I feel like our secondary school ingrained that into us, that failing is a bad thing. Like in school, if you just fail a math solution, your teacher is going to spank you, your teacher is going to flog you because you failed it. And I think that actually made us feel like failing is actually a bad thing. Meanwhile, it's not a bad thing. Now, I had to learn that recently in my life, that if back then in school I knew that okay, failing is actually not a bad thing, maybe I would have actually been better at maths. But because I would solve a solution and not get it, I'll be like, oh, I'm no good in maths. Why? Our secondary school told us that okay, when you fail this or when you get last position, you cannot succeed in life. That kind of a thing. That was what most of us learned from school. Those people that actually did well in maths, if you check, if they fail a solution, they will always go back to it and say, oh, why did I fail this? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this? Okay, they will make sure that they solve that mathematics 12 times and ensure that they get it. If you do this way and you did not get right answer, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you should give up. It actually means that you should go back and see what you did wrong and how you can improve on it so that you can get the desired answer. And how do you apply that into life? If I try this and it does not work, it means that okay, I should see a better way that I can do this. And how can you do that? By going back to the drawing board, by asking people, by checking online and seeing how other people are doing it and how you can inculcate that into your life. These are small ways in which you can embrace failure and learn from your mistakes. Okay, no matter what you venture into and you do not do well in, don't see it like you're a failure. See it as okay, I did this, how can I be better? What can I do that I will be good at? That kind of a thing. Like that is the mindset that you should have about anything that you dabble into. And that's why I decided to make this my last and final tip of 10 things I do differently if I just graduated from the university. So remember that it's never too late to make positive changes, whether you graduated since 2020. These tips are also helpful to you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are most likely on their postgraduate journey. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Bye bye.